Tenebrosia, 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 Tenebrosia. Hello and welcome to part 15 of my YouTube walkthrough for Bard's Tale 3 on the Apple II. In this video, we tackle Tenebrosia, the fifth role our Chronomancer can access. It's got an extremely unfriendly town, which is nice to grind levels. The quests are tidy and straightforward, though the final dungeon and fight have a few wrinkles. Also, before we begin, note for reference that I provided links in the description to my written guide and relevant maps at GameFAQs. So, let's visit that town first. Okay, a fight. Or not. I thought I fought, but I ran. Since the town is nearby, you go 3 east, turn right, and then go south. Black Scar is a lot like Sierra Grania in that it has several concentric rings. Oh, you know what would have been great is if I had fixed the order of my players. And I can chuck spells here because I get a lot of harmonic gems. Not that time, but they appear a lot. We can just go to the inner circle, or rather the second innermost. Here to the west is a Wizard's Guild. Nobody's going to advance yet, but we can get spells. Götterdämmerung is not going to be useful for Sandy. It's N-U-K-E, nuke is the abbreviation, because it costs 250 spell points, but we might as well give it to her anyway. We also want to visit a tavern, seek out the old man in the review board. Well, we know that. Key to finding Sceadu is finding the lock. Can be found in the middle of nowhere, and there is an actual location called that, so it's not just some silly riddle. We also need to visit the Bard's Hall, which is on the west side of this ring. Listen to the Bard, Gale of Gods. There isn't much in terms of actual useful clues. But we can get Minstrel Shield for Squidward. And let's, this time for real, shuffle people so that we can get going. And we should probably cast Batch Spell. And I'm going to... I gotchas. Cute. So again, Keel's Overture is probably still the easiest one, or the best one to use in combat. We didn't need to there. And I'm just going to show where our little fishing hole is. And then I will make a cut in this video and come back later once my party is improved. We are just east of the Wizard's Guild, and so we go south, and then we face one of the doors, and we just hold down K until we get a fight. And we can just cast Nuke. I forget what a Misericord does. Nuke casts 150 spell point, or costs that much, and ooh, the Cli Lyre is very good. Oh, you know what would be great is if I had enough spell points to cast a spell before I tried to. And you'll see we're finding harmonic gems like crazy. Alright, everybody gets a level. I'm going to be grinding a bit, but you don't want to visit every time you get a level because that just slows things down. So I'm going to save here, and there will be a small blip, and I'll come back and say what I've done. I do want to make a few points though. That first of all, the Cli Lyre is great for your bard. It gives a little more armor class. Yet another Cli Lyre. We don't need all these. I forget what a Cli Lyre does. Eventually we will probably have too many harmonic gems. We want to save crystal gems instead, because those are harmonic gems with multiple uses. Oh, we can drop the magic triangle. And yes, with a 50% harmonic gem drop rate, a lot drops, and also we will have enough times beating up enemies that we should get all the items that are available here in Black Scar. We also would like to run with an archmaze so we can use trap zap so we get more stabs at getting the really good items like crystal gems. So with that, I will cut off this part of the video. When I come back in a few seconds, you'll notice everybody will have a lot more hit points. An eternity later. Okay, notice that I have some attribute boosts now. Everyone's stats are near 30, and I think only Patrick came up a bit short by a point, and whoops, it's very easy to knock out the bad guys here if we have a fight. So that's what I've been doing a lot of. I forgot to have Sandy acquire spells before I save, but then again, that's probably good to see. Sandy has some good mapping spells and some good spell points too, even though she started with bad IQ. So, with all that, it's also neat to note that I got 3 Titan bracers for all my magic users. I got tungsten plate and a diamond suit, which I may have gotten in Canestia, but a bunch of them dropped here too, so basically, yeah, you get a nice armor upgrade if you just bounce around, and it's not just about getting the levels. So we want to leave Black Scar now, and I noticed also you don't need Trap Zap and an Archmage. There was just treasure, so that was nice. You also might get a few Sorcerer Hoods too. I am going to go now to the Tar Quarry, which is west of the south of Black Scar, and I should probably use harmonic gems. Wow, look at all those spell points. So here we go. Also, I think I got a few Sorcerer Hoods. They're nice for the final dungeons because they allow you to resurrect immediately. So I believe even if your sorcerer is the last person who gets killed, you get one more roll. And now we'd like to use some of Sandy's abilities. She has a lot as a Geomancer. It reveals, ROAL is the spell that reveals where the anti-magic squares are. And how's that work? I can't get a refund, can I? We want to be 8 squares south, and it's worth the spell points to see about this. Now we want to face west. We go 5 and we leave it. I always forget which monsters drain you, but I have so much experience. And I want to have 3 doses of tar. And now we go back. What am I thinking? Patrick doesn't have spells. Well, that was pleasant. You'll get stuck and you'll get magic drain, so maybe I shouldn't use the harmonic gems yet. Actually, let's try this. Now everybody repels attacks, which is nice. And Patrick, okay. Plankton found a sorcerer's hood. He already has one, probably doesn't need another. And part 1 is done. It's the easiest part, but otherwise there would have been a maze, which is interesting, but we don't have the time for that right now. We'd like to get through reasonably quickly without taking any huge cheats. So the next place to go is the Copse. And that's west 1 and then south a bunch. Yes, I wish to enter no. And when we face south, what we do is we have Patrick use the hot tar. Actually, we only needed 1 hot tar technically, but we would have had to walk around a bit. This just makes it quicker. Give Patrick the... Okay, Patrick doesn't get the shadow door. Gary got the shadow door. Maybe we can drop some of Patrick's items. I think we can get away with dropping Patrick's equipment. Patrick's armor class is just too good. His level is 90, so he is at minus 80 at the very least. That does not include dexterity bonuses and so forth. So that's more than enough. Monsters, most of them can't hit at minus 65, and those that can hit at minus 240 as well. So I'm not too worried about that. From the Copse, we go to the canyon, which we go east, south, east a bunch. You see the rocks surrounding it. This is the canyon. Again, we B3-1. And that gives Sir Robin's song. And now we will go to south, east to the wall, to south, east. And now this avoids, if going east avoids a fight and silence square. There's going to be an anti-magic square ahead. And here is flavor text. Let's cast Magic Compass again. There will be a hit point drain, then a magic drain. Hit points, magic, and... Whoa! I forgot that was a secret door. I thought I had to wall warp through it. Okay, sledgehammer. I got hit by a sledgehammer, but still, trust me, I know what I'm doing here. We go forward, east forward, south forward, east, and who gets the shadow lock? Let's give it to Gary. Wait, okay, Patrick has the shadow lock, and have Gary trade the shadow door to Patrick. And we leave the way we came, to west, to north, west. I'm going to play a song even though I have it, just because I don't want to run out here. Not that getting a level drain is that bad. Okay, I ran into a spinner here because I misjudged where I was. I should have gone 1 more east. I want a big open, what do you call it? Big open space. And I will just go forward then. What is... Okay, there we go. Now we go north, and anti-magic square means nothing. And we escape. That was not bad at all. The next place to go to is Sceadu's, but Sceadu's isn't readily apparent. We need to find where it is. It is in the middle of nowhere, as the Bard's song may have said. Okay, I meant to go north, but I went south. So we are at the canyon. Let's cast Bass. And I want to go west and then this away. You seem to be in the middle of nowhere. Ah, so now we have Patrick use the door, use the lock. A hole in the ground. Do we wish to jump in? Yes. There is a portal above us. Again, I'm going to go with Sir Robin's song. Sceadu level 1 is a bit weird, but we know how it's weird because we have a map. So I go to east, to north, east into a wall, an explosion, but we don't care. We went through a silent square, and now we see a portal down. Well, we saw it before the darkness. We push W to go down. Let's have Sandy use the Dayblade. And now we will see, if we circle around, We have time. I planned to do this in 30 minutes, and we're only at 9. I'm really chickening out here. We can see here is the map. The inner part here is not where we want to go. It won't help. It's actually the outer part. And it's the center of the outer part that has a secret door. So we didn't even need wall warp. But we did need to bounce around and try all these secret doors. Okay, and now this is very weird. We are close to Sceadu. The walls on the other side are invisible. I'm going to save it here just in case something goes wrong. It really shouldn't. What does SpongeBob have as a weapon? Okay, that's pretty good. Sandy's at minus 50 armor class, which is cool. Sandy does not need the Titan bracers, so let's drop that and let's go in. Here is Sceadu. It's easier to see him by not looking at him. I cannot surrender it to you. This is where we need SpongeBob, and yeah, SpongeBob saying I'm ready, and all that sort of thing. So, whoops, I forgot to do something here. Cast Prec, cast ANMA, and Sceadu is casting Farfo, and SpongeBob ran up 90 feet and knocked Sceadu out. And okay, whoops. Who wants to get Sceadu's cloak? Wants to get the Helm of Justice? Alrighty then. We can see we can't get out except by the door. And now it's easy to leave. That's all we need to do. So there's a portal. Whoops. There's a portal below. And now to avoid spinners, that's the tricky thing here. We will go east. And we will switch back to Sir Robin's song. And we will go... How did I hit a spinner? I didn't think I did. Okay, I am at a spinner now. I'm not sure how I got there. But I'll look at the map. Okay, I'm just going to go, it says east to, and then south a bunch. There are a bunch of silent squares there. And, wow, this is a bit trippy. I had to go to the southwest corner. I was at the southeast corner, so I had to go 2 up and then east and south. Yuck, I should have... Actually, we have time. Let's show what I did here. Again, because that was a bit confusing for me, and I'm the person with the maps right here. So, leave it in peace, darkness, and we have the portal below. So let's try it again. Okay. 3 south into the wall. Okay. Okay. I really overdid it there. East, south, to east to the explosion, then south. Then we can go east again. South. I forgot to... Purple heart is trash, so let's dump it east, and you can see we want to get to actually one north, one east of the lower right corner, and we can see the portal, and so this time we did it right. Okay, now we just need to get back to nowhere, which is actually either north or south, and we cast AECE. No, it's ECEA. Okay, and now that's what you get for not letting me flee. I think there is a cap on the damage a monk can do. Maybe they just get better at hitting enemies. But anyway, not Sceadu as well. Okay, Tarmisha, Whereas Shield and the Strife Spear. The circle is almost joined. Yay! And while we have talked to the Elder, remember to do it this time. AECE and KULO. Okay, that's good to know. And where is the path to Tarmisha? We will get there and we will call it a day. Dang it, I would have been under 15 if I'd done better with showing how to exit Sceadus. But I think that was pretty important. So I'm referring to my Sceadu map. It's always tricky, it doesn't make a ton of sense, and what do you know? This is one of the easiest to find because you go south from the center of Sceadu, and this is the Vale of Lost Warriors, and it's going to get weird very shortly. We're going to wind up in a dungeon, not somewhere outside, but that is for next video. And we have 132702. Just double check it here, and always a bit of worry it might not work, but it did work. So this is a good place to say stop, and rather to stop and say thanks for watching through. And if you've enjoyed this enough, giving a like or subscribing if you haven't already goes a long way in encouraging me to create and share more fun retro games. I'll see you next video.